Hello there, my name is Dismas and welcome to part 2 of our tutorial on training series on how to make a YouTube intro in Blender 2.8. So this is where we left off, and we left off making this text here. We saw how to import the font and change the text. So let's see how we can add some good looking materials. So I'm going to be using Fresh Note so that the colors change a bit depending on the view angle. So let's add an input layer weight. This gives us the fresh node and the facing of input here, and we can add a color, mix RGB here. Let's change this, maybe give it a pop up pink, and let's see what colors work here. So then we can use this fresh node as our factor, so that depending on the angle you're looking at this, you see a different color. So but French now is not as powerful as the facing input. So maybe let's just use that, and also let's feed this into the base color and preview this material. I'm going to give this some reflection, and then let's see if I give this a metallic look. I don't like that. Maybe the colors. Let's try. No, you know what? Let me just use Fresh now, because this is it has a lot of contrast. Let's see. Let's try giving this some transparency and see how it would look. And under the material setting, we can turn on refraction, and under the render settings, we can turn on ambient screen space reflections, and then screen space reflections, and then refraction. I'm just waiting for the shader to compile, and we can also go under the material settings again. Under blending mode, we can change it to additive. We barely seeing anything, so let's change this to maybe multiply. It's too dark. Change this to alpha hashed. But let's also change the refraction depth to about 0.1. Let's see how this would look behind a white background. Now, it's not really that visible, or readable. So let's maybe remove this transmission, and turn off that. And let's go with that. Let's keep, for the case of the tutorial, to make it faster. So okay, let me go back to animation. I'll rotate this 180, so that is facing our camera. Let's go back to camera view here. So our camera is currently here. Rotation. I think we can add some lights in the background here to sell the effect a bit more. So And let me give this background a material that has no specular and very rough, so that the lighting is better. Now let's give this some warm color like that. I want to give the background some contrast so that the text is legible. And let me increase the strength of this maybe to 30. Go to shading again. I think we can also add what I'm going to do is attach a light onto the camera so that every object is facing always has some light on it. So let me add a light, area light, and face it the same direction the camera is facing, and then parent it to the camera, so like that. Back to animation. Now you can see that our object has some light on it, and it also has some reflections. Let's try disk. I think disk looks better, and that gives us some good reflections there. So let me turn random colors on so that we can see what's going on here. So if we play back the animation. Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111. So I don't know how I'm going to animate this. So let me add a keyframe here. Move this around here. Then scale this in like that. I want to keep it to make it a very simple animation. So let's see how this would look. Yeah. I also think we can edit out this part where I start without speaking. So I'll just okay. So then select everything and then move that in so that we can start right away. Hello there, my name is Ismail. So since I'm only animating the scale, I can go to the curves. Let me see, what do we have that? So I need to view the curves here. Maybe let me just split this view. And change this to the graph editor. Since we are only animating the scale for these words, I'll just delete the location here. And maybe, I don't think the rotation is necessary. So that when I make a duplicate of this, I don't have to worry about the location values for this. So let me show you what I mean here. So if I turn off the record keyframe options, where is that? Okay, can't see that. I can't see the record option, so let me first try removing this. interesting layout. Let me first stop the recording there, and I think we are going to need the timeline down here so that we have the option for these record option. I don't know why they don't have that on this menu here. So let me see, can I switch between playback and I guess no. So let's play back and see how this works. So at here, from here we can make a copy of this. So I'll make sure, let's make sure that the scale starts off at 0, where we don't see the text at all, or the object at all. So I'll scale this by 0, and also make sure that I have record on, so that we start without seeing anything. But again, these location keyframes have also been added, so I want to remove those. So just select them and delete them, so that we only have the scale keyframes. What that will help me is that if I don't have this on, the record option on, I can move this around and it will stay there in that position. So that means that now that I can just duplicate this. So my name starts here, and I can edit this to say my name, and I can move the keyframes to where that is. So I just need to get the timing right. And I can make another copy as well and say mouse. That's not how I write my names for YouTube, so I'll just write it the way I write it. So again, move the keyframes. And maybe we can move this up here, and move this here, and we can animate the camera. So to here, let's set a keyframe, rotate the camera to be at around here, at a position where it can see this hello. So right now we are just animating the circle, so I also need to set keyframes for the camera. So I don't need this other keyframe. So at around here, at around here, you can set a keyframe for both, and then around here you can rotate the camera and move this to here. Maybe let's zoom out a bit. I think let's first switch off keyframes. Around here we can make a duplicate of this and say there. Now maybe we can, maybe let's just scale this down. The problem with that is that it will affect the animation, so let's just zoom out, position the camera again, And you need to change the timing for this. So I really say this very fast, but so around here, my name, then again we can move it's too fast, but then for the word top channel, so that can just make a duplicate from this. Maybe let's first put this aside, change this to top channel 1 on 1. So we're having some issues that are being caused by this bevel, so I'll just remove the bevel completely. And I think because this is a free font, it's not giving you everything, so I'll just change the font to something simple that we had before, and maybe do the same for this. Nah. So let's see. Now I'm going to remove this part here because I think the camera moves just too fast, and I speak too fast as well, so also I need to remove these keyframes here. I think I can scale this down so that it comes in faster, and then I think I need to also push these a bit back so that they're all visible in our view.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111. So we're about to dive into a speed. Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10.
And then I think I can just drop the camera down to view our screens.
My name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10.
So around here I can set a keyframe for the camera, and then I set a keyframe for the circle, then drop the camera down, then rotate this to face the laptop. So
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111.
Let me delete all the keyframes that we had before that for the circles, so that there is no further animation.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111.
I think this is too fast.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111. Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111.
I think this is also rotating in the wrong direction, so I think it should be like this.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111.
So slow this down a bit.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 111. So we're about
and cursor to selected, so that I can snap this object there. So let me also remove this keyframe for this word, and the word is going to move. It's going to come from the laptop. So let me position this correctly. So I will care rotation, rotate this 90 degrees on the X. I don't think if this is going to be very readable, so let me do this like this, and change the alignment. Let me see if I can bold it. So this don't seem to work. Let me see if I can change the alignment. So this is paragraph alignment. We need center alignment here. So I also want this to be parented to the laptop. So Control P, and I can also animate the extrude to have that effect there. So we can start off when this is inside, so that it's not visible. So around here we can set a keyframe, and also set a keyframe for the extrude. Then around here we increase the extrude like so. So also we need to get the timing right here, so that the camera is also facing this object is facing the screen directly.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed.
So we need to speed this up a bit around. So we need to speed this up. So just select those two.
Welcome to Top 10 101. This Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we 10 101. So we up 101. 10 101. Top 10. Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed.
Okay, so
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time-lapse modeling video. And if you want to get the project files, you can find them.
so now we can just keep these floating around, give them that slight animation, and you need to until we start talking about the
Hello there, my name is
Patreon.
Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time-lapse modeling video. And if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com. Top 10 101, or you can get them at project files. You can find.
And when we start talking about Patreon, around here, we'll just add a keyframe there.
Them on my Patreon.
We can rotate this to face this here, and we'll give this the texture for that, for the Patreon thing, for the Patreon screen, sorry.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a 10 maps modeling video. And if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/top 10 101, or you can get them at CG.
So around here, we can rotate to the iPhone.
And rendered images and the project files as well, and that is cgtrader.com/ismailsvfx.
Then
Or you can look at the settings, the render settings I use.
And then here we can rotate to the laptop.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to
So
Top
let's
10 101. So we're about to dive into Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a 10 maps modeling video. And if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/top 10 101, or you can get them at CG Trader, and that's where you can also.
Okay, for CG Trader, I think I need to make this faster so that it gets there.
Or you can get them at.
So we need to move this keyframe and this keyframe.
/top 10 101, or you can get them at CG Trader, and that's where you can also find final rendered images and the project files as well, and that is cgtrader.com/ismailsvfx. Or you can look at the settings, the render.
Now I think I'm going to end it from here at CG Trader. I won't add the blender1on1.com.
And that is cgtrader.com/ismailsvfx.
So I can go back to the video editing and cut the rest of the parts. Now let's see what's in here.
On blender1on1.com. Thank you.
Okay, and I can bring the thank you part here, so that it's not a too long intro. So
hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a 10 maps modeling video. And if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/top 10 101, or you can get them at CG Trader, and that's where you can also find final rendered images and the project files as well, and that is cgtrader.com/ismailsvfx.
I also removed that because I'm going to add the text here directly. So let's go back to video editing.
And that is cgtrader. Yes, and the project files as well.
And now let's see.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a 10 maps modeling video. And if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/top 10 101, or you can get them at CG Trader, and that's where you can also find final rendered images and the project files as well. You leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
So we'll end the animation at 600 frames, which is roughly, I don't know, 30 seconds. This is 690, 640.
Hello there,
so we just need to give these different materials. So I'll just select this. I think white is okay. Actually, let me keep the materials very simple, and let's give them no roughness. Also for this text here, let's for the hello text. Yeah, it's okay.
Hello there, my name is Ismas.
And this can also have no material.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101.
So again, this also should not have a material.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a 10.
Let me make the motion for this more more pronounced. So
hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 One-on-Ones.
I think instead of doing it like this, let me just remove these keyframes and write this properly. Top channel 1-on-1. Just make it more readable. Let me delete these keyframes.
Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 One-on-One. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time lapse modeling video, and if you want to get the
I think this also has to, we need to make this motion more pronounced as well. So
hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 One-on-One. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time lapse modeling video, and if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/.
and just duplicate this, clear parent, I mean turn off keyframes. So this is patreon.com/top channel. Need to mirror this. Let me remove this extrude. Parent these to that.
My name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 One-on-One. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time lapse modeling video, and if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/Top 10 One-on-One, or you can get them at CD Trader, and that's
So let's do the same for this. Shift D. Remove these over the phone. Like so. Now maybe let's give this a color so that it's easier to see. Let's go to shading and I'll give this, change this to a timeline. Yeah, let's see now.
hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome. Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 One-on-One. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time lapse modeling video, and if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon. .com/Top 10 One-on-One, or you can get them at CD Trader, and that's where you can also find final rendered images and the project files as well. Hopefully, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next. Hello there, my name is Ismas and welcome to Top 10 One-on-One. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time lapse modeling video, and if you want to get
I don't want to see this here, so you know, I think we can add I mean we can add, sorry, we can add depth of field, and under the depth of field settings we can let's add an object that we can animate to control the depth. So let's add an empty set a keyframe. Let's also parent it to the object, to the camera, so that it moves with the camera. And we can start here. Let's preview this. So let's make sure that this is the focus object. So camera settings, depth of field, select this object here. I don't know how it's called. It's called empty. So let's just find it here, empty. And you can see the good thing is that it's also where our object is. Let's increase the aperture or decrease the aperture. So let's see 1. So we have a shallow depth of field. I'll move this closer to the object. So somewhere like that.
Hello there, my name is Isma.
So around here. So we can start with this out of focus, and then a few seconds later it can come into focus. So let's also make sure that the camera is still focusing on that. So yeah. And this looks beautiful, I think. So
So we diamonds this one's welcome to talk to.
so everything should be out of focus up to around here, and then we can position back. We can bring this back into focus. The problem is that I still see everything in the background. So I think around here I can come back to the camera settings and change animate the focus, the F point here. So it should be point. Let's try 0.5. What about 0.7? Yeah, 0.7. Same thing here. Let me change the color management here. So let me change this to very high contrast. I think the light from here. Let's see.
Hello there, my name is Isma, and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed build or a time lapse modeling video. And if you want to get the project files, you can find them on my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/top10 101, or you can get them at CD Player, and that's where you can also find final rendered images and the project files as well. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
I think that it can work. Yeah. And let's see.
Top 10 101. So we hello there, my name is Hello there, my name is Isma, and welcome to Top 10 101. So we're about to dive into a speed.
Yeah, so I'll animate this and I'll render this out, and that's what I'll be using for the intros. Thank you for watching.